Hey Virgo, we are going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on for you guys. Virgo, this is like a love relationship spread, so all right, let's see what is going on. Virgo. Virgo. All right. Virgo. Everyone's getting the Five of Swords in these spreads. Really interesting. Like literally, I feel like every single sign has gotten that. So, all right, let's see what's going on. Knight of Swords, Knight of Swords at the bottom. So, all right, let's see. Okay, you guys have the Knight of Pentacles, and this is showing up as like the foundation of the relationship. So I think this is something that maybe took a long time to start. Okay, that kind of stuff. I understand something about like being maybe overly cautious. Okay, that kind of stuff. Being like, I don't really know how I don't know if it's like, I don't know how I feel about this. I think that's what it is. It's like, this took a really long time. Maybe it's like starting off as friends or something like that. Okay, that kind of stuff. All right, that's something that I'm understanding now. But I think, yeah, slow to actually begin the relationship. Okay, that kind of stuff. So, all right, for your perspective of the relationship here, you guys have the Seven of Swords. All right, Seven of Swords as a relationship. Some of you, or as your perspective on it. For some of you guys, you might be in like disbelief about something, or you might be maybe seeing this as like, how did this happen? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. All right. For some of you guys, I will say maybe there's something here where I'm wondering if you're, it's a little tricky. I guess I want, you know what I want to say? I want to say like, if something that I say like doesn't hit your intuition the right way, like you're like, that just like really doesn't feel right for me, then that you have to follow that. Okay, you have to like kind of follow that feeling, especially for like love readings and stuff like that. I would say like, you know, checking probably all of your placements, that kind of stuff, and looking for looking for similarities, that kind of stuff. I think that that's maybe something here. So, okay, for some of you guys, it could be that maybe you're feeling like maybe a little bit like, I want to say possibly bored in some aspect. Okay, that kind of stuff. Again, not going to be for everybody. All right. But there might be something about that. And it could be that you might be seeing the relationship as being like, well, I don't know if I want to kind of like continue this. Maybe I want to kind of like escape out of this, that kind of stuff. Okay. For others of you, I also understand something about being like, well, let's do like couples therapy or like something like that. I don't know anything about that, so I'm not, I have no idea, but that might be something. Okay, possibly. So all right, I think you're feeling a level of like sneakiness, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. All right. I think you're kind of like, that's what you're seeing this as. So, all right, you guys have the Five of Swords. This is showing up as like your intentions here. So I think that there is something that I think that you want to like, I want to say you want to be heard, or you want to be understood in some sense. And for some of you guys, I do understand something about maybe being like, you know what, I need some space, or I need to kind of like, yeah, like separate in some sense, take like some type of break, that kind of stuff. Okay, that could certainly be it. All right, Seven of Swords and then the Five of Swords. It's like, what's going on there, you know? All right. All right, you guys have the Eight of Swords. This is showing up as like your partner's perspective of the relationship here. I understand this as possibly feeling a little bit trapped, or feeling like they're I don't want to say that. It's feeling a little bit trapped about something. Okay, that kind of stuff. Maybe feeling, I mean, maybe seeing something as like staying in I don't know, staying someplace on purpose. For what reason, I'm not really sure. Okay, I mean, again, I feel that, I don't know. This is kind of, I checked all your placements. Okay, of course, if you're like, what is going on, and like none of this is like hitting, then definitely check your other placements here. But this to me feels like possibly, oh, the light just, my light, what the heck, do you guys, it's a, all right, maybe you guys like Kanye West. What the heck is that? All right, that's really nuts to me. Guys, I've been getting so much about first responders lately. I'm like Virgo. I'm like, oh, your reading's about to turn into like, ready? This is what I have. Let me figure out this whole light situation. I mean, this is nuts, okay? So this is like a fire drill, or there's sprinklers going off. I'm not, obviously not right now, but like that's what we're doing. So hold on, Virgo. Sorry. You're gonna have no light in your reading, okay? So sorry about that. Okay. All right. Sorry, lights are off now. Okay, that was wild. All right, that was really wild. Sorry. Let's keep going. That was, I mean, I can't stress it enough, Virgo. This has been a running theme. Maybe it's gonna come out in your reading. Okay, I don't know. This is supposed to be a love reading, but I'm telling you, there's something like, I think much more going on in your reading. Okay, I've been trying to place this energy for a really long time, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's coming to coming to a peak right now, that kind of stuff. So let's keep going, okay? Their perspective of the relationship here, okay? You have the Eight of Swords. Hold on. Something was taking a very long time, okay, that kind of stuff. I even understand being like, you know what, I know this is going to take a long time maybe to get somewhere, okay, that kind of stuff, but I still understand that as being like, that's the core, being like, well, this is going to take a long time, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff, and that's just what it is. We're going to like plan appropriately or something like that, okay? So for some of you guys, maybe this is a lot of planning, that kind of stuff, and being like very much like, okay, now I know what's going on and I'm moving forward with it, okay, that kind of stuff. I'm just going to kind of like read through your cards again. That light going off really just like, that was something. So sorry, Virgo, your reading's going to be a weird one, okay? All right, so with the Seven of Swords here is your perspective on the relationship. It could be that you're seeing something as like, okay, we need a specific intervention on this relationship, or there's a way to kind of make this work, that kind of stuff. Some of you guys might be going through something of like an imposter syndrome type of situation, that kind of stuff, maybe in disbelief about something, okay? But I do understand something about like, we need to act on this quickly, even though the foundation, maybe that could be it. There could have been some type of delay here, that kind of stuff with this Knight of Pentacles, and it's very well that your perspective is like, this needs an intervention, this needs to, we got to do this now, okay, that kind of stuff. All right, so if that's the case, then I think this Five of Swords is probably showing up for your intentions in the sense of like, we need to, I want to say almost cut up confusion or separate something, that kind of stuff, okay, like a real like separation of something here. But I also think that you're like, I am going to let my point, my voice, whatever the heck it is going to be heard here no matter what, that kind of stuff, okay? That's what I'm feeling. So all right, their perspective of the relationship, Eight of Swords here, you guys might be dealing with a Gemini, okay? Could be. Again, I'm feeling like they're feeling trapped, stuck, that kind of stuff, okay? Maybe feeling like, I don't know where to go with this. This could also be somebody who is maybe feeling like anything that I say, I'm going to get stuck in that in some sense, okay? That kind of thing, all right? I understand something regarding that. All right, so let's see. You guys have the Nine of Pentacles. This is showing up as their intentions. So Nine of Pentacles, I feel like this is somebody who is wanting to give what they can, all right? Is wanting to, just what I said, give what they can to whatever this is, okay? That's what I'm understanding. It's like, I don't want to give too much, but I also am okay with giving what I can without feeling depleted, all right? That kind of stuff. So that's what I'm understanding. I don't know, maybe for some of you guys, maybe this has like, a financial piece to it, okay? It certainly could, you know, and maybe there's finances involved in, I don't know, something here, okay? That could be it. So, all right, let's see. So you guys have the Six of Wands. This is showing up as what bonds you guys together. So, or, you know, bonds you guys, brings you guys together, that kind of stuff. It could be that what brings you together is that you both really like attention, or there's something that you like, maybe are, there's something like noteworthy about you, or something that like has you kind of stick out of a crowd, or something about that, okay? That kind of stuff. I do understand you guys, again, maybe you both like attention, or you both have won a certain thing, okay, that kind of stuff, and that might be something that it's like, okay, well, that's what we bond over, that, all right, that kind of stuff. I want to say something about a performance, but I don't really know much what else to say about that, okay? But I want to say there's something about that. There might be like, maybe you and somebody else here, you know, you kind of have the same feelings about something, or I don't know, that kind of stuff, or maybe you're both very recognizable, okay? That could also be something where it's like, oh, I can recognize that, or, you know, something like that. So, all right, let's see. You guys have, all right. Maybe you also both have like a really, like a goal that's like I don't know, something. You both have the same goal, that kind of stuff, or you both like to have, again, like have like attention on you, or that's something that you're like okay with doing. So, all right, what pulls you apart? You guys have the Queen of Wands here. All right, I understand this about like kind of being like courageous, but I understand this in the sense of like, okay, maybe not everybody is gonna, I don't know, like the particular thing you're doing, or something about that, okay, that kind of stuff. I also think that maybe this is like, maybe you're like quick to getting into like a fight, or like quick to like anger, that kind of stuff. Okay, that could possibly be part of whatever this is. I also understand something about what might be pulling you apart is I just lost my train of thought there. I don't know. I'm like, I had something and I just like went right out the door. So I don't know. Queen of Wands for what pulls you apart. Maybe one of you guys has like if there's like an uneven balance of like time or energy being put into this relationship, I think that that is something that's being highlighted, okay, that kind of stuff. I do understand part of that, and I think that might be part of this Queen of Wands here showing up as like what might be pulling you apart. So, all right, you guys have, so for external influences, you guys have the Three of Swords here, so I do think that there's something about healing, that kind of stuff. There might be some grief that still needs to be worked through, okay, and I also understand about just, again, that like separation energy, okay. Yeah, there is some grief going on, okay, outside of whatever's going on, okay, all right, and that could be also kind of talking about this Queen of Wands, all right, maybe this is like, usually there's like a lot of like optimism, happy-go-lucky, kind of like creative expressions, that kind of stuff. I understand something about being maybe a little bit over-calculated, or being overly cautious about something, okay, that kind of stuff. I feel like there's something in there. I think that this is an effort to like kind of make you feel more comfortable in your own skin, that kind of stuff, all right? That is what I'm feeling here. I want to say like something broke the silence. I'm not sure, but there's something about that that's like showing up in the external energy. So, all right, let's see what's going on. Virgo. Virgo. Why am I getting a lot of internet references, or like hacking a database or hacking into something? That's what I'm picking up. That what is going on? Your reading is really interesting. I've been kind of waiting for this to happen. It's been so much with this whole like first responder business and like all that kind of stuff. Like I'm just being like friggin' swarmed with it. Like, I mean this in my third eye, guys, okay? But, all right, let's see what's going on. Virgo. All right. Whoa. We're going to keep that over here. All right, so let's see. So, okay, you guys have the Knight of Pentacles and the High Priestess, and this is showing up for the foundation of this relationship. So yes, there is like something about, again, I want to say moving really slow with something, okay, that kind of stuff, maybe over planning something or being extremely meticulous, that kind of stuff, okay, as the foundation. I also am understanding something where somebody thought you were bored of something, but that was not the case at all, okay? I don't know, but I am picking up something about that. There is something about like assuming something, that kind of stuff, okay? I'm definitely feeling something regarding that. I also think that maybe there is something here that maybe you both were waiting for something, or you were both maybe ignoring a certain thing together, or I don't know, something about that, okay, as like the foundation. You have the Seven of Swords and you have it with the Two of Pentacles here, and this is showing up for like your perspective of the relationship. So again, I feel like there is something where for some of you guys, I'm telling you, there is something where you're like seeing this relationship as like somebody is juggling you, or somebody is like getting ready to like kind of like up and leave, that kind of stuff, okay? You might be feeling like somebody is like playing both sides of the field, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff, okay? that type of energy. I don't mean this in like whether you like girls or whatever, you know, I truly like, I don't, you could be in love with this water bottle. I just don't care. I'm sorry. I mean, not that I don't care. It's just like, it doesn't, that's not going to be anything that ever affects me. Like, why do I feel like I sound like I'm being rude? I'm just trying to say you can be in love with whoever you want. And that's awesome. You know, that's all I'm trying to say. All right. So, okay. And then for others of you, it might be that you are maybe have the perspective of like, okay, I need a particular level of help and I need to do this like right now. Like this really needs to happen right now. But you might be like, oh, but like when I need help, they're busy doing something else or something like that. Okay. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. All right. So let's see, but there is something about acting early on something. All right. I do feel like there's something about that you're like seeing, I don't know, you might be kind of like seeing this as like this needed to happen earlier or something, or I wish this happened earlier, that kind of stuff. So, all right. With the 5 of Swords, you guys have the 7 of Cups here. This is showing up as your intentions for the relationship. So I feel like you're like, well, I don't want to be like misunderstood, or I don't want to like, you know, have somebody, again, even assume something on your behalf, that kind of stuff. I feel like your intentions are to be like, okay, there needs to be some separation of something here. And I also feel like this is like, maybe an explanation of why you reacted in a certain sense or a certain way, that kind of stuff. That could also be something that's your intention to kind of like show that in some sense. But I also think that this is maybe like, It's almost like for some of you guys, you're like, I don't want to appear like I'm like completely obsessed with this situation, or, you know, whatever it is. All right. There's something about that. And that might be why you maybe are like, I don't know, maybe like doing something. So it's like, okay, I don't want to be seen as like, I'm like spending too much time in this place. Or I don't know, something like that. Okay. That kind of stuff. All right. All right, let's see. So you guys have the 8 of Swords, and you have it with the 5 of Cups here. There's like some similarities within your numbers here. Like I feel like there's like a mirror of something, or there's something like that. So all right, you guys, so 8 of Swords, and you have it with the 5 of Cups. This is showing up as their perspective of the relationship here. Yes, there is definitely some grief here, and I feel like this is somebody who again is feeling kind of trapped in some situation, that kind of stuff. I feel like this is they're kind of seeing this as like, I want to say being like, well, I kind of wish that I like broke free from this like sooner, or I wish that I think somebody you're dealing with here is maybe dealing with the repercussions of something. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. That's what I'm feeling here. Is like dealing with like the consequences of something, the repercussions of something here, that kind of stuff. I feel like there is maybe something where it's like, okay, they're kind of going through some like grief process, or, you know, something about that. Okay. I also think that they're maybe feeling trapped or stuck about something that happened a very long time ago. Okay. That kind of stuff. You might be picking up on that energy, and you might be like, okay, is this true or is this not? I need some kind of like proof, because I need to like, it's almost like this person's like, you know, I'm seeing this as your energy is like kind of like going like nuts, being like, dude, I need to know if this is real or not, you know, that kind of stuff. All right. That's what I'm feeling. So, all right, Virgo, maybe you've been gaslit a little bit here, or a lot bit here. Okay. That kind of stuff that does a number on you, man. It really does. So, you know, that certainly could be something. So, all right, let's see. For their intentions, you guys have the 9 of Pentacles, and then you have it with the friggin' 10 of Swords here. All right, let's see. I understand this as their intentions being, you know, we were saying something about like, okay, this person's like, yeah, I'm gonna, like, I'll give what I can, that kind of stuff. I think this person's actually like, I'll give what I can and even more than I have, that kind of stuff. Like, you know, that's what I'm feeling here. I don't know if this is somebody who wants to give you some space, or they're trying to make up for lost time. Okay. They're trying to give you something because they feel like maybe they've betrayed you in the past, or they have betrayed you in the past, something like that. Okay. There's something about that. I would definitely check like all your placements for this reading, because there is some like kind of sketchy energy going on. All right. So let's see. So for what brings you guys together, you guys have the Six of Wands, and then you had the Wheel card and the Moon come out with it. So like kind of a lot of energy. So, all right, for some of you guys, you're like undercover in some aspect, or you're like being seen in some, what brings you together is you're either fine being kind of like having the spotlight on you, that kind of stuff, okay? That could be part of whatever this is. And I also think that there's something about you guys recognizing possibly the emotions that you have in another person, or you have the same experience, seeing the same thing, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff, okay? There might be something about that here. You guys also might share the same vision, all right? And by that, okay, I mean that, by that I mean like you maybe like you share the same vision, like you see the same things, you know, that, I don't know, something about that, okay? That could be part of whatever it is, or you kind of like see the same thing for yourself, whatever the heck it is, all right? That kind of stuff. I almost want to say some people might be like, that's a crazy dream, like that's never going to be reality, that kind of thing. I feel like you and this other person are like, that's fine, you can think it's not reality, or that's not like attainable, but like that's what we're doing, you know, that kind of stuff. That's actually awesome. I friggin' love that. That's awesome. All right, you also have it with the Wheel here. So I mean, there's something that I think that what brings you together is maybe something just friggin' happened by chance, whatever the heck it is, okay? That kind of stuff. There also might be something in the way you communicate or process or understand, or something about that maybe is like, oh, that's actually like bringing you guys together, okay? It's kind of like doing a deep dive in that in some aspect, that kind of stuff, okay? There could be something in there. I also think it's like when there's like a wild card thrown at you or that kind of stuff, it's like you're like, I love that. It's almost like you're like, that's how I do things, or something like that, all right? So interesting. Okay, so let's see. You guys have the Queen of Wands, and then you have it with the Page of Cups, and this is showing up as what might be possibly pulling you guys apart here. Okay, there's like, that's what I'm saying. There's like this intuitive feeling of like, did this happen, or is this possible, or something like that? I think this is, again, past energy, all right? So whether it's like, okay, maybe somebody like lied to you, or like, again, like a betrayal, whatever the heck it is, like back in the day, that kind of stuff. I feel like you are still trying to figure that out now. You're still trying to like get to the bottom of that in some aspect, like now, all right? That is something that I am understanding. I also think maybe something that might be pulling you apart is, for whatever reason, you might be not really trusting your intuition, or trusting where it is that you feel like you naturally need to go in some aspect. And it's either because somebody kind of like made you feel like an imposter, or made you feel like, okay, well, if this is not true, then I must be like friggin' out of balance, dude, like that kind of stuff, okay? That, you know, that could certainly be it. That I definitely understand that. All right. I feel like there's like unanswered questions, okay, that is like, there's something within that, okay? It's almost like you're just trying to get a direct answer, and for whatever reason, it's like you're not getting that direct answer. You're being given like the friggin' runaround, that kind of stuff, okay? That's what I feel. So, all right, you guys have the Three of Swords, and you have it with the Page of Swords. This is showing up as external influences. Kind of understand this about like maybe gossip of some sort, or possibly somebody around you is maybe speaking about maybe a separation that you had maybe in the past or current, that kind of stuff, okay? I understand something regarding that, all right? And there also maybe is somebody who is, who I want to say who knows too much about your personal relationship, and maybe is running their mouth about it, which I'll say right now is BS, dude, BS. Because here's the thing, if you're running your mouth about somebody else's relationship, I hope to God you don't get surprised if that comes right back to you. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to do that. We really don't, because it's like, if it's not your relationship, you shouldn't be taking that personal, because it's not yours. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That might be somebody, or that might be for somebody. Someone's looking for the light too. Somebody's looking for the light. They're like, or they're looking for an idea. They lost their train of thought. They lost their train of thought, or they're like, where's my light bulb? I don't know. All right. So let's get an oracle card for you guys. Virgo, let's see. Ooh, become your own priority. I friggin' love that. Okay, 13, become your own priority. So that's amazing. I friggin' love that, okay? Especially because there is like a little bit of like confusion, or I don't know if it's confusion, but there's a lot of stuff going on here, okay? Absolutely. So become your own priority. I love that. Like really, like definitely taking care of yourself, like thinking of yourself first. Maybe you're somebody that's like, you're so used to thinking of every single person around you, or maybe you're a caretaker, whatever the heck it is, and it's like, I'm pouring into into everybody else's cup. Meanwhile, mine is freaking bone dry over here, you know, that kind of stuff. That might be something. So, all right. That is what I have for you guys. Virgo, sorry. There's a lot of symbolism going on in your reading too, okay? There really is. So, all right. That's what I have for you guys. I hope this reading was helpful, made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements. Otherwise, I will see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.